Have you ever looked into someone's eyes? They smiled. They nodded. They even told you they were proud. But something inside you twisted, like your soul leaned in and whispered, "This person doesn't mean it." You can't explain it. There's no betrayal, no argument, no visible reason, nothing on the surface, but something in their energy stings. Their applause sounds off, their laughter, too perfect, too practiced. And when you rise, they pause, just for a heartbeat, before pretending to clap. This isn't paranoia. You're not broken. You're tuned in. Carl Jung called it the shadow, the dark undercurrent beneath the human psyche. It doesn't shout, it hides, behind polite smiles, hollow compliments, and rehearsed affection. But deep inside it seethes, with envy, resentment, quiet hatred, and unspoken rivalry. Ignore that whisper in your gut long enough, and you'll feel it, emotionally, mentally, sometimes even physically. Because when hatred wears the mask of love, it poisons you slowly. It doesn't strike, it hugs you and drains you. In this video, I'll show you 8 disturbing signs that someone close to you secretly hates you. Not mild dislike, not jealousy, hate. And most people don't see it coming, not until it's too late, not until they're used, betrayed, broken. But if you stay with me until the end, sign number 8 will flip a switch in your mind and change how you see people forever. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Sarcasm and contempt. The poison behind the joke. You're too sensitive. Relax, it's just a joke. You've heard those lines, haven't you? They sound harmless, even playful, but they cut every single time. What if I told you those weren't jokes? They're weapons, disguised as laughter. Because sarcasm isn't always comedy. Sometimes it's cruelty, surgical, sharp, intentional. They know your insecurities, your weight, your past, your family, and they poke and poke and poke again. While everyone else laughs, you sit there, cornered, exposed, alone. And when you speak up, you're the problem. Chill. Don't be dramatic. Let's call it what it is: emotional manipulation. Jung once said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. But people who refuse to look inward turn that irritation outward. They project, they attack, they mock. Their jokes are never just jokes. They're camouflage. If their humor always stings, if you laugh in public but cry in private, that's not friendship. That's psychological warfare. They're not teasing you. They're bleeding you, softly, strategically, and without leaving a mark." Chapter 2. Subtle sabotage, the knife in the back, wrapped in concern. Ever had a friend forget something important? That one crucial detail that could have changed everything? Or gave you advice that led you straight into a wall? They miss your big moment. Don't show up when it counts. Always busy, always caught up. Once? Okay, life happens. Twice? Coincidence? 3 times? 4? Always. That's not forgetfulness. That's subtle sabotage. And the most chilling part? They don't attack you. They hug you while doing it. Jung warned us, those who feel inferior won't rise. They'll pull others down instead. They see your growth as a mirror to their own stagnation. And so, they quietly chip away at you. Through bad advice, missed moments, soft sabotage dressed as care. "I was just trying to help," they'll say. But inside, they knew exactly what they were doing. And what makes it truly terrifying? They look like your support system, but they're the silent storm dismantling your confidence in the background. If someone consistently forgets your wins, feeds your doubts, delays your dreams, that's not concern. That's control. They don't want to lose you, but only as long as you stay beneath them. Chapter 3. Silent competition. When every win becomes a war. You share good news, a new job, a creative spark, a little victory. You expect joy, maybe a hug. Instead you get, "Oh, guess what I just did?" Suddenly your win becomes their launch pad. Your joy becomes their stage. You shine, so they dim the room. You rise, so they scramble higher. Not to lift you up, but to stay above you. It's quiet, subtle, always beneath the surface. A shift in tone, a forced smile, that gnawing urge to one-up. Carl Jung said it best: everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. But some people skip the understanding. They go straight to comparison, because your growth reminds them of what they've abandoned. So they turn joy into rivalry, celebration into scoreboard, support into ego warfare. Not because they hate your success, but because your light casts shadows on what they've suppressed. You never signed up for a competition, but they did, silently, bitterly, relentlessly. If your joy triggers hidden rivalry, you're not being supported. You're being measured and used by someone who fears you growing taller than the cage they built around you. Chapter 4. Superficial kindness, the smile that never reaches the soul. They say all the right things. I'm proud of you. So happy for you. Wow, that's amazing. But your spirit knows better, because something essential is missing: the warmth. Their gaze drifts. Their words fall flat. And when life truly asks for presence, they vanish. The real ones? They don't just speak love, they become love. They sit with your pain. They weep when you weep. They rejoice in your joy and anchor you in your storms. But the counterfeit kind, they're illusionists, present in words, absent in essence, nowhere to be seen in your highs, nowhere to lean on in your lows. And when they are there, the energy is hollow, cold, mechanical, lifeless. Carl Jung called it ego dissociation. When someone drifts so far from their emotional core, they can no longer touch real human feeling. They don't hate you, but they've lost the capacity to love. They orbit your life like satellites, replaying the script of friendship, but never offering the rawness that matters: mess, presence, empathy, soulful connection. If they disappear when your spirit reaches out, if their kindness feels mass-produced, scripted like a customer service line, then you're not in a friendship, you're in a performance. And no matter how perfect the lines are, you'll always feel the emptiness behind the smile. Chapter 5. Controlling through care. The most dangerous manipulation often wears the gentlest disguise. It begins softly. This is for your own good. You'll thank me later. I just don't want to see you hurt. Soothing words, comforting tones. But inside, something wilts. Your shoulders sag. Your joy hesitates. Your voice shrinks when you defend your dream. Because what they brand as care is often just control, wrapped in affection, spoken in lullabies. They don't raise their voice. They don't argue. They influence, delicately, like vines around your choices. You share a spark. They say it's dangerous. You reach for more. They call it naive. You decide something bold. They plant fear disguised as logic. And here's the trap. They're not always wrong. Their advice sounds reasonable. Their concern feels mature. But it doesn't elevate you. It clips your wings. You begin doubting your instincts. You stop moving without their approval. Carl Jung put it plainly: those who cannot master their own chaos seek to rule others. Their inner world is disorder. Their emotions are unhealed. So instead of looking inward, they reach outward to control. It makes them feel safe, stable, superior. They don't believe in your evolution. They believe in your dependence. So they play the long game. No commands, just conditioning. They build a world where you start thinking, I need their voice to guide me. I can't trust myself. What if they're right and I fail? But pause. If someone's care makes you feel smaller, weaker, unsure, scared to move, is that really care? Real support empowers. False support enslaves. True love whispers, I trust you. Even if you fall, I won't leave. False love insists, just obey. It's safer. They'll name it protection, but what they offer is possession. So if someone is always steering your path, censoring your thoughts, slowing your pace, while smiling sweetly saying, I'm just looking out for you, step back. Ask clearly, Are they protecting me or their control over me? Because one sets you free, the other holds you captive with a gentle voice. Chapter 6, Gossip and Criticism. What they whisper when your back is turned. You step into the room, suddenly the smiles glitch. The air shifts. Eyes dart, then drop. No one says a word. But your body knows. Your intuition flares. Something's been spoken. Something's been twisted. That's how gossip works. Quiet, calculated, cowardly. When someone lacks the courage to confront you, they choose the back door. They won't challenge your actions. They'll assassinate your character, twisting your words, doubting your intentions, rewriting your story. One poisonous whisper at a time. And the worst part? It's all just subtle enough, never direct, never obvious. Just enough to turn light into suspicion, enough to make others question you, while they keep smiling in your face. Why do they do it? Carl Jung said it clearly. The brighter your light, the darker your shadow becomes in others' eyes. Insecure people feel exposed in your presence. Your courage reveals their fear. Your growth highlights their stagnation. Your calmness disturbs their storm. So they don't rise to meet you. They shrink you in secret. They launch emotional warfare behind closed doors. They wound you with invisible daggers, then greet you like nothing happened. But here's the truth. Gossip says more about them than it ever will about you. It's not your honor on trial. It's theirs. Whole people don't need to destroy others. But broken ones? They throw their inner war at whoever threatens their mask. So the next time the room goes cold, the next time the silence feels sharp, trust what you sense. Their whispers are not your shame. They are their own unresolved pain, leaking. And while they talk, you keep walking, head high, spirit intact, because your silence, that's elegance echoing louder than every rumor they'll ever speak. Chapter 7, No Joy in Your Success. The emotional absence that speaks volumes. They were there when you had nothing, when life was heavy, cruel, and cold. They sat with your brokenness, held space for your sorrow, witnessed your rock bottom. But the moment you rose, silence. No, I'm proud of you. No toast, no joy, no genuine cheer. Just a muted cool, a deadpan nice, a swift change of subject. You feel it, that subtle chill behind the words. The warmth is gone, and it stings. Why? Because when you were down, you were digestible, harmless. You made them feel better about their own inertia. But now you're ascending, glowing, becoming. And in your light, they see their own shadows. Your evolution confronts them with everything they're avoiding. They can't celebrate you, not because you've done something wrong, but because your growth feels like their failure in disguise. They may say the right things, they might smile, nod, but the energy never lies. Their joy isn't real. It's a performance. Their eyes don't spark. Their tone is hollow. Their congratulations, mechanical. And deep in your gut, the truth rings loud. They don't want you to win, because every step you take forward to them is a step away. Carl Jung once said, if someone cannot feel joy in your joy, they are at war within. Your success is a mirror, and it reflects their stagnation louder than your triumph. So they shrink back, they disconnect, they vanish. Not because you've changed, but because you did, and they didn't. It's devastating when the people who held your hand in hell can't walk beside you in the light. But here's what you must remember. Chapter 8. Body language, the truth. They can't hide, words can lie. Smiles can be sculpted. Praise can be scripted. But the body? The body is truth-telling clay. See, when someone harbors silent envy, subtle hate, hidden competition, they won't always say it. They might never dare. They'll say all the right things. I'm so happy for you. You earned it. You deserve this. But while their lips recite poetry, their body leaks poison. The smile is stiff. Their eyes don't light up. They dim. The hug feels hollow. Their torso shifts slightly away from yours. Their voice, flat. Their soul, absent. You feel it before they speak. the tension, the off vibe, the strange air. And no, you're not crazy. You're not being overly sensitive. What you're feeling is your ancient radar, the primal signal called intuition. As Jung said, the unconscious always speaks through the body. No matter how well someone masks their mind, the body betrays them. Their jaw clenches, their shoulders tense, their breathing shortens, they blink more. They avoid your eyes when you speak of joy. They clap late. They lean away, not toward. These are not flukes. They're soul signals. Soft betrayals your spirit senses long before your logic catches up. Because your intuition, it's older than language, wiser than niceties. It was born for survival, to read danger in silence, fake smiles, and hollow praise. That's why when someone's energy is off, you feel it in your stomach. Your chest tightens. The room grows colder. And while they say friend, your nervous system screams threat. That's the glitch, the fracture between words and energy. And that's your sign. But most people ignore it. Why? Because we were taught to value politeness over perception. Conclusion. So now that you've seen the signs and what's next, you don't need to expose them. You don't need to argue. You don't need to curse their name. You need to protect your peace. Because peace is sacred, and you've been offering it to people who never earned it. It's time to draw the line. To stop justifying your joy, to stop waiting for their applause, to stop throwing light at people who keep handing you shadows. Here's the bitter truth. Not everyone in your circle is in your corner. Some sit beside you not to cheer, but to compete. And when you rise, they don't stab with knives. They stab with silence, with delayed claps, with forced smiles and energy that recoils. So today you choose. Do you keep bending for those secretly hoping you fall? Or do you rise, alone if you must, but free? Because real self-love begins where fake love ends. If this message cracks something open in you, don't keep it hidden. Share it with someone who's felt this invisible pain but never found the words. Drop a comment. Let me know which moment hit hardest, which truth mirrored your reality. And if you're ready to dive deeper into the raw, unfiltered psychology of human behavior, subscribe. Because this journey, it's only just begun. We're going deeper, darker, and realer to help you master yourself in a world addicted to masks. This might feel like the end, but maybe, just maybe, it's the birth of the real you.